Good morning, good evening, or good night, depending on what time of day you are watching this video. Hope you are well. And guys, we have a lot to cover today on our Forest update. So, quick headlines to let you know what is coming up. We're going to give you a quick overview of what happened at the council meeting in regards to the City Ground Stadium yesterday. We've got a lot to catch up on players that were linked with Forest, but now are probably looking elsewhere. We've also got to talk about the watch along. We will have a video later on today for you guys who don't know much about Valencia, comparing Valencia and Forest and explaining to you how Valencia play as we prepare for tomorrow's match, the watch along, which we will have live on this channel from 5:30, kickoff at 6 p.m. as Forest take on Valencia. So make sure to click the link below and hit the notify me button on the stream so that you don't miss it tomorrow for the watch along. Guys, so much to talk about. Let's get into the video. But before we do, as always, please do not forget, you know the drill. Hit the like button for the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not new, and hit the bell once the graphic comes up. There you go. Guys, let's get into it, and let's start very quickly with what happened in the council meeting yesterday. Guys, how beautiful does this look? And this is the kind of standards we are going to be seeing at Forest in about 18 months' time. It is gonna be amazing. Guys, yesterday the council approved it. The changes to the Peter Taylor stand have been signed off. There's a lot of other stuff that Forest will be doing in terms of the local development of the area as part of the deal, but it's all going to enhance and improve not just the stadium, but the city of Nottingham. Is going to create jobs, it's going to create a fantastic infrastructure. This is all, just as with everything at the moment with Forest, positive news. So let's look forward to it. Just a quick breakdown of the timelines for you. So at the end of this season, the Peter Taylor stand is going to be knocked down. Throughout next year, it's going to be built back up, and it's probably going to take till the end of the season. They may open the lower tier at some point during the season, but obviously then all that's going to mean is that the Trent End, West Bridgford and the Brighton Clough stand are going to be the main stands that Forest have. Once this tier is done, so the season after next, our capacity will be around 38,000. And we're just gonna, can you imagine the noise? Can you imagine the noise? There is also talks about adding some more seating into like the other stands and creating something around the 40k mark as well in terms of the stadium. This is, I just can't wait to see it, but we're just going to have to be patient with it. Let's just hope the A block is still where it is, because there's no better seat in the ground than the A block. Let me know below, where is your favourite part of the stadium to watch the match from? For me, it has to be the A block first, and then probably in the Trent End. I do enjoy sitting there as well. So let me know below, and let's move on to some transfer news. All right, let's start with a guy we haven't covered for a couple of days, which is Maxwell Cornet. Maxwell Cornet's representatives have been in talks with Forest in terms of agreeing personal terms. Now, this doesn't mean that a fee has been agreed between Burnley and Forest. It's quite normal now, even though it's not technically allowed, that players' representatives will talk to a club before they then agree the fee. Traditionally, you agree the fee with the club. They say yes, then you speak to the club, agree personal terms, medical, sign, etc. But just to let you know what's been happening here, Maxwell 100% wants to leave Burnley. However, his priority is to get European football, be it Europa League, Champions League, etc. On top of that, he is not closed off to the idea of a Premier League team coming in for him that doesn't have European football. So his motivations to join Forest are not as strong as, say, if a team with European football came in. However, he is still keen. The sticking point that we've had with him is about salary. He's on 44,000 currently a week at Burnley. He wants to see a salary increase to come to Forest. What we offered him and what he wants are not in line just yet. So talks are ongoing with him. Remember, and I'll stress out that the transfer fee still hasn't been agreed with Burnley. But initially, he has rejected the first offer from Forest, or his representatives have. This one's still going to take a little while, but there is development happening. Do I see it happening? I'll give it a 60% chance at the moment. I can tell you Forest are ahead of Everton in terms of signing him. That's the other main club that's interested in him. There is one other unnamed Premier League team as well. But I think if Forest want him, they've just got to agree personal terms with him. The fee we know is a max 17.5 mil because he has that release fee clause. So that's the update on him. And let's move on to our next player. Guys, let's talk about Carvalho. And from reading all your comments, I think my update today is really going to please a lot of you guys because the majority, and I would say most of the Forest fans, have been fairly negative about the signing of this player. Talking about him being too slow, which I agree with. Talking about being the wrong player, saying that we got Mangala coming in, so what's the point in Carvalho? I still think there's a place for him in the squad, but here's the update. He does not want to join Forest. He wants Champions League or European football, a bit like Cornet, and he is heavily linked now with Lyon to the stage where they're discussing personal terms. So for those Forest fans who did not want him, now's the time to rejoice, and rejoice by pressing the like button on there. I was happy for him to come if Cooper wanted him. To be honest, he was not on the top of my shopping list, but the news is here that he will not be joining Forest. So rejoice if you didn't want him. Let me know your thoughts below. Are you happy that he's not coming, or did you want to see him come in? Next item on the agenda is Silva. So we're going to be looking at an outgoing from Forest. He is going to be joining De Jong on a 3-year deal on an undisclosed fee. He's not really had much time with Forest. I think he's played like 10 to 15 games in recent times across last season, etc. He's not really hit it off at Forest. I've not been a huge fan of him, to be honest. So this is a player that's leaving Forest for Dion on a 3-year deal, all accept, all good to go. Thought I'd give you an outgoing update for once, but let me know if you wanted him to have another crack at Forest. He's made no real impact either in the preseason, so I think it's better for both parties that this deal gets completed and done. Let me know your thoughts. Let's move on to a new transfer link for Forest, and it's James McAtee. He is 19 years old. He's a very, very big prospect for the future. He just can't get the game time currently at Man City. He's an attacking midfielder, has a lot of flair about him, and he's decided, well, alongside with Pep Guardiola, that he needs to go away on loan to gain some more experience. And we know how great Forest and Steve Cooper are with the youngsters and their development. So Pep is quite keen for him to go to Forest. The other team that's interested in him is Leeds. If we sign this guy, this would be our second loan signing of the season alongside Dean Henderson, but he will give us potentially, even though he's young, he will give us that attacking element that we are so desperately in need of to get a bit more of through the door. So this one is a no risker for me. He may play a few cup games, he may play a few Premier League games for us, but it is between Forest and Leeds on where he goes. I haven't seen him play much. I've seen obviously a few compilation videos and spoken to a few people about him. He is highly regarded and highly sought after. But very attacking, which is what we need at the moment. And he has been brought up under that Pep regime, so you know he's been drilled well and very disciplined and will slot nicely in to the Forest structure. You've seen it happen before with players like Garner, Spencer, under Steve Cooper, how he can develop them. And that's why Pep is very keen for him to go to Forest, because we are getting that reputation of that team who develop youth into outstanding players. Let me know your thoughts on him, and would you like to see him? It's only a loan deal, but it's a new link to Forest. Okay, our next transfer link for you today is Camara, who plays at Olympiacos. He joined them from Lille last season, as in a year ago. Forest are interested in the attacking midfielder. He's got pace, he's got skill, he's very versatile, and he only is coming in at around 4 million. There is competition for him. The likes of AC Milan and Liverpool were heavily interested in him in the January transfer window. Their interest has died down a bit as Forest is growing. This is just a link at the moment, but again, you can see that Cooper is looking at the attacking midfield positions as a priority priority now, and the midfield in general, as he moves into the striking positions following that. This guy will be a great player. He's only 21 years old, but it's just a link at the moment, and we will see how it develops. Let me know your thoughts on him. He's a very, very good player that can offer us. He can even play out on the left wing and the right wing as well, but his kind of main position is central attacking midfield, so he could be there to progress behind the likes of Jesse Lingard and Morgan Gibbs-White if we ever get him. Anyway, guys, so that's the transfer update for today. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts on the players below. Don't forget, tomorrow we have the massive watch-along. Forest against Valencia. It will be a full Forest first team coming out on there, and it is so important that this team gels. We will have a breakdown video for you later in the afternoon, so if you're new here, first obviously like the video, subscribe to the channel, and if you put your notifications on, you'll be made aware when that video comes out, as it will break down everything you need to know about the game for tomorrow. Thank you for watching today, and come on you Reds!